welcome to a sort of more conversational format in this leadership contest. Some of you might have been to other events where all 5 candidates were, and it got quite hard, I think, to explore ideas beyond anything for about a minute. So what I'll do is have a conversation, ask Ed Balls a few questions, and then we'll open it up to questions from the audience in the second half of the session.
One of the great frustrations I have with having fought this general election is I think we did some brilliant things in government, and some things which really made a difference to communities. But Yvette was saying after the election, she was in the centre of Castleford, and she saw a woman who came over to her and said, "Thanks for all the help you gave me in terms of getting my new house, council house she'd been queuing for." And Yvette said, "And did you vote for me?" And the constituent said, "No, I never vote because you're all the same." And very, very many times in the general election, you'd have people saying, "Well, you know, I've always been Labour, but I just think you're all the same these days. You're not on our side. You're not standing up for us." Now, that was partly true, but it was partly that people didn't know some of the things which we'd done. But that was partly because we didn't say what we'd done and explain it in a way which sort of rammed home whose side we were on. The Labour Party, given we lost an election, is quite up at the moment. We've got tens of thousands more members, and we are, you know, in my constituency, my guys have been out campaigning every Sunday since the election. It's brilliant. And you see that the same stories around the country. And, you know, given we lost the election, people should be more down. And it's partly because of what the Liberal Democrats have done, which just gets everybody motivated. You know, all you have to do is say to a meeting of party members, you know, in Sheffield, Nick Clegg puts on his leaflets during the general election campaign, vote Liberal Democrat or you'll get a Tory government, as a way of kind of motivating people to want to kind of take the argument. The thing I've said all the way through is that if the leadership election decision had been made in the first few weeks, I couldn't have won, because the party to begin with was looking backwards and saying we need to move on, and I think in people's minds refighting the 2010 general election, and given that Gordon Brown was the Prime Minister and he lost and I was the closest person to him, then that people would inevitably say, well, you know, Ed Balls close to Gordon Brown. I think the more this has gone on, the more people look forward. And I don't know whether there'll be enough time for me to make that argument, but my argument is that, that if you actually want to think, well, who's the best person to win for the future, you've got to decide it on the basis of who would actually be the best leader of the opposition and the best Prime Minister, rather than simply who's not somebody from the past.
Having absolutely made it clear that you're campaigning to win this, as they have, will you at some point be naming your second choice?
No, but the thing I was going to say was that, that it's really important to me that nobody decides until the last minute.
Right.
Because I need more time to persuade people.